Back to part two of the Amber Shows. This is Facts Tuesday, and this is News Tuesday. Okay, some other things I want to tell you about. Cleaning your jewelry. Did you know that ketchup will polish your tarnished silver? It's not just for burgers and fries. So you submerge the item in a bowl of ketchup and let it set for like 5 to 10 minutes. Don't leave it too long on because the acid from the tomatoes and the vinegar could cause damage. But you remove the jewelry and use an old tooth paste is also good for getting in between the jewelry, in between the prongs, and then just run some warm water over it all and dry it off and put it on. And your jewelry will be nice and beautiful. Now, beer also brings back the shine to solid gold. Put some on a clean cloth and then gently just rub it lightly, and it'll bring the gold back as well. Make sure it's solid gold or gold plated only. Also, I have some other thing. Vodka. Vodka will makes your diamonds dazzle. So while vodka is really great to sip, because you know I love a martini, it can also bring the sheen back to your stones. So any diamond stones or crystal rhinestones. So you pour vodka on a clean cloth and then thoroughly wipe the jewelry, okay? Or swish it around in a glass of vodka and then just wipe your jewelry down. Also, seltzer water works to clean your jewelry, and also Windex will also clean your diamonds and make them shine brilliantly. Did you hear about all the people that have died in India? Over the last week, it's been 2,330 people have died in India from the heat. This is how hot it is. Again, I've talked about global warming in the past, and this is atrocious. Can you believe 2,330 people are dying because of the heat? Imagine if all of our electricity went out because of the heat. Everything just went down, and you didn't even have a generator. And it's in the middle of July, and it goes up to, because now of global warming, it goes up to 110, 115 degrees. We'd have people dying, elderly people dying, children dying, heat exhaustion, dehydration. So this is a real concern. It's really a tragedy, and my prayers go out to all of them. I gotta tell you again, I don't know how many times I can tell you, Sons of Anarchy is the best show ever. I cannot wait for it to come back. There were like 6, 7 seasons of it, and then all of a sudden it was gone, and it's on Netflix. Run to Netflix, start watching it. Trust me, you will continue watching it. I'm only on season 2, and it is crazy. I can't get enough of it. I have to pull myself away from the TV. So Sons of Anarchy, I sure wish you'd come back. And Jax, that's my man crush. All right, so I promised you facts today. Did you know if a girl is pretty and single, you got about 2 weeks, men, to get her. And if you don't get her within that time, fellas, her old boyfriend, who always says he wants to make shit right for like the 54th time, 9 times out of 10, he can get her back. And ladies, until a man finds himself, he'll run every woman he comes across, he'll just run over them. So he has to find himself first and foremost. Also, be grateful, fellas, when you have a girl who's down for you, and really down for you, and does everything for you, and takes care of you, and looks out for you, and has proved to be your best friend, then you need to keep her, because bitches ain't loyal. Also, I have this is called WTF facts. So, a 51-year-old Brazilian priest, he actually strapped himself on a chair with 1,000 balloons that he got, and he put them all around him on the chair, and went out and sat in the water. He actually got lost at sea and died. He was never heard from again. That was so crazy. Also, a man nursed a young crocodile back to health after it was shot by a cattle farmer. and they remained friends for 23 years, him and the crocodile. In 1991, Jennifer Lopez, she began her career as a backup dancer for the New Kids on the Block. Didn't know that. And the last male northern white rhino is protected 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by armed guards, because you know the poachers always try and get those husks that the rhinos have, and they're worth lots of money, and so is rhinoceros hide. And so there's only one northern white rhino left in the world, and if it's gone, that could actually imbalance the ecosystem. So armed guards are around it. American police have killed more people in any given month this year than the UK police has killed in 100 years. Did you hear that? American police have killed more people on any given month than the UK police have killed in 100 years. Shameful. Also, two guys who own a cereal cafe, and when they serve like over 120 types of cereal, and they have 30 types of milk, and they charge $4 a bowl. That is a really good idea. That's a really good idea. I like that idea. And also, did you know that Starbucks spends more money on health insurance for its employees than it does on coffee beans? Hooray to Starbucks. And Anne Frank, you know, she was the young lady who died by the Nazis. Her and her family, her father's the one who survived. She wrote a diary the whole time they were hid away from the Nazis before they were captured. Her birthday and Martin Luther King's birthday is the same day. Did you know that China has more Kentucky Fried Chicken outlets than in the United States? I guess so, they got more people, but that's kind of strange. I can't believe it. They need to have more Chinese restaurants. And uncircumcised men are twice as likely to give a woman an orgasm. See? Okay. And more U.S. soldiers died from swords than more U.S. soldiers died from suicide than combat when they went to the Iraqi war. And Jamie Foxx, did you know that he glued his eyes together when he filmed the movie Ray Charles? These are some interesting little tidbits. Eddie Murphy is the most successful and the most profitable person to come out of SNL, or Saturday Night Live. And two surgeons once used a coat hanger, brandy, an oxygen tube, as an oxygen tube, to operate on a collapsed lung during an airline flight, and they succeeded. South Carolina actually produces more peaches than Georgia. And I just wanted to talk about this last thing real quick too. When I was talking about the Motown sound, this is the soul month for music and everything. I wanted to tell you, I ended up, when I got older, Paul Williams, the Temptations, was going with, not older, I was like 8th grade, 9th grade. Paul Williams was going with my mother's best friend. And so my best friend, Rebecca, Paul Williams was going with her mother from the Temptations. So I was always over their house, or they were over our house. So Paul Williams became a fixture and a person that I was really cool with and in awe of, because that was in their heyday. He was one of the Temptations, and then he died from liver failure. And also T-Boy Ross, Diana Ross's brother. We all hang out. My older cousin Jasmine was in school with him at Mackenzie High School, and so we actually back then. That's when my cousins were older than me. But I used to like to hang out with them. So T-Boy Ross, they went to school with at Mackenzie High School, and I was real young. But they used to like do prank calls and call his house. And that's Diana Ross's brother. He was eventually, sadly, about maybe 9-10 years ago, was murdered in Detroit. Also, Florence, Diana, and Mary of the Supremes. They all lived right on the corner of my aunt's house, where I stayed at her house a lot, my Aunt Claudia. She lived on 2342 Buena Vista, and right off Dexter, and my Detroit people know what I'm talking about, and that's where the Supremes lived. Diana bought a house right on the corner, Mary was across the street, and Florence was right next door to her. So I see them all the time. I was really in love with Florence. Florence was a beautiful, beautiful soul, and nice and kind, and loved her fans, and she really did have the best voice, but she died from alcoholism and depression. Okay, you guys, I will hope you have a wonderful day. I do want to give one last thing, what I'm going to talk to you about before I end my show, and that is know your actions as your powerful thoughts. So if you do not treat yourself with love and respect, you're emitting a signal that is saying you are not important enough, worthy enough, or deserving enough, okay? You must begin to treat yourself with love and respect and emit that signal and get on that frequency. Then the law of attraction will move the entire universe, and your life will be full of people who love and respect you, and you'll be loving and respecting yourself. And all that you wish will come to you. All your dreams will come true. So we can take a lesson from Caitlyn Jenner, aka used to be Bruce Jenner, that you have to be yourself. That's the only way you will be free and be happy. Okay guys, have a wonderful day. This was part 2 of the Amber Shows. Love, love, love you. And please give me a thumbs up. Thank you.